Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Dawn. So I'm actually here today to do something a little unusual just to honor the Thanksgiving season. And it's called Within, Without, and Advice. And I'm going to do a draw for each one of the signs. I thank my friend Laura Lee. She's the one that actually told me about this spread, and I've used it several different times. And I really like it for its simplicity. And if you do have oracle cards or if you do have tarot cards, it's what's within you, one card. What is without? What are you experiencing out in the world? And advice. And I really went with the traveling theme. Number one, I'm going to be traveling. It's Sagittarius season. It's very much that energy. So I'm going to be bringing that energy in as well. So the cards that kind of volunteered for me were Denise Lynn's Sacred Traveler, and that is this deck. And then also the next one that wanted to be next was the Cosmic Journey Oracle. And then the final one is the Map. This is a Colette Baron Reed deck. One of the things that happened is as I was shuffling, pre-shuffling, I did have a card come out, and it was for me because it's a number 43 card. I'm a Life Path 7, and it's details. Mercury is my Time Lord of the year. It's also my chart ruler. And this is saying to me, I just love this card. This is saying it's the details. Get your information from the details. It's not only what is said, it's what isn't said. And I really like this, that we need to be aware of what's going on in the minutia right now. We do have Mercury retrograde right now. We'll be going direct. We do have Saturn, which is at its station degree right now. Technically, it hasn't stationed direct, but it is at that 2509 degree, which is in a trine to my natal sun. So that's important. It's the details. It's what's happening that's coming up. So I'm definitely going to be going back and checking out all my reservations and my times and making sure that I've crossed my T's and dotted my I's. But to me, this is something that it's telling all of us. It's those little details. Be aware that what you need to know is in the details. If you're entering into any agreement, pay attention to them beforehand. Clarity and transparency is key. Observe body language, minute remarks, things like that. And I think that is what's really going to be guiding us through this weekend. It's like, number one, when you can be with family, it's not always an easy path because family are the only ones that do not have a very good, filter, because they're family and they don't feel they need a filter. So that is something to be aware of, that they would never say what they would say to a family member. They would never say that to a friend, So I'm kind of also guided. These are my grandmother's glasses. She informed me that I needed to have her as part of this reading, and she made me clean her glasses, and she makes me set them up just like that. So she's setting those up. So I heard you. You're not sitting up. Okay. All right. Is that okay? For some reason, they have to be upright. I don't know why. Okay. Is that all right? Yes. Okay. She was born, I don't know her time of birth, but she was born with her Gemini sun conjunct Pluto by degree, not close, on the same degree. Now, she played piano for silent movies. So, and she believed entirely in the other world, and she would have people that had passed on help her find things. So my family gave me a lot less static than other people may have had, because my grandmother was totally a believer in all those things and believed in the second sight, as she called it. So we are going to get started with Aries right now. I appreciate everyone being here and paying attention on this day. So yes, okay. It says draw them out. All right. Aries, what do we have for you? Within crossing bridges, it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. You do have Chiron in your sign. Healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Crossing bridges. One thing that strikes me about this is that it doesn't say, somebody was talking about forgiving on a different channel today. And what I found interesting was they're like, people are like, oh, be the bigger person. And guess what? You don't have to be the bigger person. You can just go, I'm healed. I'm done. Thank you very much. That's Mars energy. Done it, got the lesson. Release the energy of that person, though. That's the healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. We are going to be doing a Gemini full moon burn, and please be a part of that. It's going to be at, 13 or 14 degrees. 14. I'll have to double check that, but I believe it's 14 degrees because we do have the great attractor at 14 degrees. So you are at the divine Y point. Time to move on. And as you'll see here, one of the things that I like about this particular card is, which direction are you going to take, right? What do you want to do? Where do you want to move forward? And I a lot of times feel like when the cards give us messages like this, to me, it's very much about, you are going to have in your sign the meeting up of Neptune and Saturn, who have just finished out the last degrees of the zodiac, and they're coming into the first degrees of the zodiac in your sign. So you have room to start something completely new and take that energy forward with you. So what is your advice? Wishing well. 48. Anything is possible, especially as we're coming up on the energy of the 28-degree new moon in Sagittarius that's going to be happening. And that will be on the 19th of December, and I should be back by then. But to me, that is a huge starting point for setting intentions. It's starting that journey. And that's why I purposely chose cards or was guided to choose cards that talk about moving onward. And that's very much that Sagittarius Gemini energy. Gemini has more of the details in the planning, but they are both mutable signs. And Sagittarius is very much about learning. So is Gemini. They have that in common. But with Sagittarius, it's more the bigger picture. And it's very related to Jupiter, right? So with those energies coming up with the full moon, I think there's going to be some really beautiful opportunities for everyone. So I'm just being guided to do this as my grandmother would say. And I will get as many messages as I can coming through. It's kind of interesting. So we have Taurus energy, journey by moonlight, believe in magic. Taurus, please, please, please believe in magic. You are so practical and so fixed. And I think sometimes you think that things aren't possible, and they truly are. One of the things I was thinking about this full moon in Gemini is, I call it unlearning. It's like you believed things weren't possible. You need to unlearn that. And I think that's very important in Taurus energy. Uranus is there right now. So Uranus is going to force some things and probably move you out of some energies of stagnation. Uranus is good for that. So what else do we have for you? Oh, we have ancestor. Okay, how fitting that my grandmother decided to show up. So I would say you probably have to look at some ancestor messages for you. What is coming in that you feel is a message from someone that loved you very much and that only wanted the best for you? When you get grandparent energy in, it's just like love, 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 love. It's a very strong, supportive, they would help you do anything energy. And I do think that we can call in those energies into our lives as well as with our guides. Please ask for those energies to come in for you. What is your advice? Coming apart, a number 10 card. I would say that is very much the Tower, the Uranus in your sign kind of energy. You are going to be having Venus, the ruler of your sign, opposite Uranus in a few days. So she's the ruler of Taurus, and Uranus is there right now. I think it's going to be still at 29 degrees when they meet, which is fascinating because 29 degrees of Taurus is where they first conjuncted, and they are going to finish up at that same degree in April. So this is a big year for it's a big year for everyone, but for that reason, surprises for you. So this is that card coming apart in that energy. Okay, now we have Gemini within. Begin now. Take your first step. There is a lot of energy with people starting brand new things. I have been talking to a number of people who, for the first time, have decided to start a YouTube channel. Now, it's a small step. It's a free step. It's something that they've been wanting to do for a while, but it's about beginning something new, beginning on that journey, right? Take your first step. Begin now. Begin now. I always laugh because I have a very practical Taurus ascendant son who's got a Sagittarius actual sun. And he was always like, I don't know why people wait until January 1st to start a diet. Start where you are and don't wait for that special date to happen. And I found that really interesting. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. And really, I was very guilty of that. A good time to start it is the solstice more than January 1st. But what a lovely idea to bring in that it's small steps. It's the little things. It's the details. Thank you very much. It's the details from that first card that I drew at the beginning. Enter one step forward, one step onward. It's the small steps, Gemini. You don't have to do it all at one time. Take one small step at a time. If you have anything going on in Gemini, I have Mars at 6 degrees of Gemini, and my ascendant is at 1455, and the full moon, I believe, is at 14. If it's not, it's at 13. It's one of the two. And for me, that sits on my descendant. And Mars just went over my descendant earlier in the week, which was lots of downloads. So what is the advice for Gemini? Deep freeze. What is going on? This is a 26 card. So I feel like paying attention to the small things and moving forward. This a lot of times is a sensation of stillness. I'm from Minnesota. I understand this kind of energy very much. And what I will say about this is there's a term that's called hygge, which I learned when I visited Denmark a couple of years ago. And it's about when you're in that quiet space in the winter, in the dark of winter, and everybody's experiencing the winter much sooner in the day. It's very dark, very early. And so hygge is about taking the time in this space to honor yourself and your friendships. It's a big thing with hygge to sit by candlelight, hanging out with friends, just enjoying the atmosphere, or sitting by yourself and enjoying some really fine chocolate and either a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. It's about celebrating yourself and your comfiest clothes. It's not about dressing to the nines. It's about being comfortable and happy and reveling in that moment, eating a warm bowl of chili, right? That you've had cooking all day. So to me, that is the stillness that sometimes we Geminis need to have. I am guilty of, if things are bothering me, what I will do as a Gemini is I'll keep myself busy. I'll keep my mind busy. I'll start, I'll put my attention on classes. And as a Gemini, I generally watch more than one class. I'm not taking one class by one person. I'm taking multiple classes by different people, and I listen to different things that I'm interested in learning, and I kind of mishmash them together because that's what Geminis do. And we are able to sort out the details. But I will say that there's times that I have found when I really need to deal with something, I have to turn everything off and stop my mind from being busy. So this is what I will say as advice to you. If there's something that's going on in your life and you need to feel through it, you need to address it, this is a good time to do that. As we're coming into this season, I know things are going to get busy, but believe me, when February hits or late January hits too, there's some things going on then, things are going to be so fast. You have to learn to take those moments and appreciate them and slow down and stop and not have all this other chatter going on about you. So that is the information for Gemini. Now for Cancer, I'm a Cancer sun. This should be interesting. And my Cancer sun is now trine the stationing Saturn, and Jupiter that's in Cancer just left the degree of my sun. So I think it's like at 24 degrees now. So reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. And what this reminded me of is I did this past year get to go to Fusen, which is where Neuschwanstein, I'm sure I'm butchering that word, castle is. And that's the castle that Disney used as the castle that is, sometimes it's Sleeping Beauty's castle, sometimes it's Cinderella's castle, but it's the castle that it was all based on. So your light is shining brightly. And to me, that is what is there that you're going to make happen. Because Saturn moving through these final degrees in a trine with this energy of Jupiter and with Venus in Scorpio, which is just amazing. What can we bring in our lives that means something to us? Again, that Huga energy. Close your eyes to open your heart. So interesting. Your light is shining brightly, and close your eyes to open your heart. I will say most Cancers and Libras and Virgos have very, very big hearts. And we're coming into the Christmas season. So I want you to be very aware that you have this enormous capability of giving. And you need to understand that other people aren't going to be as generous with their time as you, as helpful, as caring, as giving. Cancers and Libras and Virgos are marvelous friends, but they don't always get reciprocated with the energy that they put forth for other people. Sometimes I would say maybe learn how to do it for the love of doing it. Wizard of awareness. What I will say, and this is, kind of, I'm looking at this and it's like, I just kind of was whispered, there's three. This is a 3 card, Wizard of Awareness. So that would be Libra and Virgo and Cancer. You're wiser than a lot of other people that are out there. Remember to protect your energy. There's so much that I feel that you can get from within yourself and bring it forward. Um, I don't think it's like, I get the sense of you don't have to buy everybody a present. This is kind of the sense, it's um, don't put yourself in a position where you're disappointed. That just enjoy the moment, and the fact that you're present and willing and helpful should be enough for a lot of people. And that's kind of what I'm like, okay, your light is shining brightly. Close your eyes to open your heart. And this is a number 7 card, interestingly. So I'm sure that's for me. Sometimes we don't see things clearly that are right in front of us. And to really get the vibrational energy of it, we have to close our eyes and feel into the energy. And I would say meditation right now. I mean, you've had Jupiter going through your sign, and Venus is in a trine to what's going on there, but there's a lot of secrets and things coming up. Wizard of Awareness. So I think that whole thing with the details being important, I would say sit back and observe. I think this is a good time. It's not quite Christmas. This is a good time to see how people behave towards you. So, yeah, Wizard of Awareness. It's the little things. It's the little things. And don't volunteer for everything. Sometimes you don't even wait for somebody to ask you. You just like, they need something and you volunteer. And I'm like, you know what? If they need help, they can ask me. And then I can see if I have the time. You don't have to say yes, right? Because you have other responsibilities. So with that energy, now we go on to Leo. So Leo, what have you got going on within, without, and advice? Within, distant thunder. Clear the air, Leo. Clear the air. I would say, I want to just get, that's within. So what's without? You are perfectly imperfect. You are not perfect. You're not. But it's recognizing that other people have feelings too. So I think that acknowledge sometimes that you may not have been aware that you hurt someone's feelings, because you have a big heart. You don't do it intentionally. Or mostly people that are Leos don't do that kind of thing intentionally. There is so many secrets coming out. Mercury is in retrograde now, is going to be going direct. And we'll get back into Sagittarius. And it's very interesting that when it reaches 6 degrees, it will be in that trine energy to what's going on in the early part of the Leo chart. So what is advice? You are perfectly imperfect and clear the air. Distant thunder. So this was something from the past, definitely. Rock bottom. Things can only get better from here. So something that happened in the past is going to get brought up because it's family and they have no filters. And acknowledge your imperfections. And I think this is a chance, there's so many people that are changing who they are vibrationally. And if you are really feeling hurt from somebody else, you might feel that energy. It's Leos can feel things in extremes. So this might make you feel like this is a very low energy. But again, I think the key to this is like, you are perfectly imperfect. we're human beings, and we are going to be moving forward into this really, really strong energy. And everything that's going on in Aries is going to be in a trine with you. So let's clear out some of this old junk, this distant thunder, and admit that, you know, I'm not going to make the right decision with everything, but I'm going to start from where I am, no matter if that's at the rock bottom. So I feel that that is really the energy. So next we have Virgo coming up. So Virgo, ruled by Mercury, traveling lightly, simplify your life. This is very true. Virgo. I'm in a Virgo perfection year because it's the fourth house for me. I'm in a fourth house perfection year. Mercury is ruling things. So all of this retrograde energy definitely has been affecting me. And traveling lightly, I have been packing my clothes, and I'm like, I'm surprised that I'm not taking a ton of stuff. I'm very impressed with my packing. So I think sometimes we get to learn those things as we move. So that is the energy of moving forward. Simplify your life, traveling lightly, and declutter. Polish your mirror for perfect clarity. Virgo, it's details. Simplify your life. Don't let all those details overwhelm you. I have Pluto and Venus in Virgo. So yeah, there's a lot of control issues there. But really take a look at, okay, polish your mirror for perfect clarity. What really needs to get done? What is the priority? Is it things or is it people? Virgo is very much of service. Virgo, go back and listen to the Cancer reading because there was advice for you and Libra in that reading. So go check that out. But it's you're sometimes just too hard on yourself. That's what I feel like. Sometimes you are just too hard on yourself, and you're picking apart all the details. And let's see what the advice is, because I'm still getting stuff coming in. Mountain. What number 6? What is the bigger picture? And I think this is a full moon, I feel like, energy, and it just kind of popped in that the next full moon, which is in Gemini, is ruled by Mercury, which is also your ruler. So what is really important? What is the mountain for you? And when you're looking at a mountain, you don't see all the little tiny details. You just see the overall impression first. That's what you get. And then you start focusing in on other things. But I think it's like simplifying your life, allowing the clarity to come through of what is really important. And don't make a mountain out of a molehill. That's from my grandmother. She's like, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. So my grandma's popping in with her little advice here. She's right there. Her glasses are right there. So she's like having her say. My grandma had some amazing sayings. So we are going on from Virgo, we're going to Libra energy. Libra, solitude. In silence, peace prevails. I will say, Libra, go back and listen to Cancer energy, because there was a lot of advice for you in Cancer. So solitude. In silence, peace prevails. Yeah, during the holidays, silence is a very missed commodity. I live by myself. I love living by myself. Even though I'm a Gemini and I like to communicate with people, I also have an Aquarius moon, which is very like, we're all hermits. So to me, I like the time that I'm down, my downtime. Because for me, being an introvert, it's true. I enjoy recharging. The difference between introverts and extroverts is how they charge their energy back up. Introverts aren't shy. They just get their energy back by being by themselves and taking a time out, where people that are extroverts get their energy from being around other people. And I have two sisters that are extroverts, and I will tell you that I have many times had one of them call me and wanted to get some my opinion, not so much my advice, but my opinion. And they started talking. And as extroverts start speaking and talking to other people, they're working it through their mind. Now, I'm an introvert and I go, and then out pops my solution. But an extrovert needs to walk through it out loud and speak it. And then by the time the conversation is done, they already know what they're going to do. They figured it out. They didn't really need my opinion whatsoever. It was just like they just had, and I was just like, so I was just knowing this. I'm kind of like, okay. And then I would ask maybe some questions here and there just to see if they, what may have come up. And by the time they were done, they already knew what their plan of attack was. But that's an extrovert. And for them, like working from home was really difficult for some of them. They were like, oh no, I have to go back on site. I have to be around other people. It drives me crazy. And I knew some people that during the pandemic who were introverts, they were like, I love this. I love working from home. I love all this energy. So interesting. Libra, bloom where you are planeted. I do get the sensation that people are going to be moving around. And I think with Libra, there's been a lot of changes in relationships, and release what is no longer your vibrational match. And this is the number 6 card. I'm going to see what your advice is. Ghostlands. Yeah, this is the number 17 card. And I just kind of got, yep, big changes in relationships, whether you ghosted someone or someone ghosted you. It's this is this feeling of being left out in the cold, right? And Libra, that would really be difficult and awkward for you. So I would say that there are other places where you will bloom. And there are other people who you will bloom with. I really get that energy of you're not getting what you need. You're not getting what you need. It's whether it's to be around people that you enjoy that are a vibrational match. It's that support. I feel Libra, it's an air sign and it's a cardinal sign, but I feel like it really does enjoy being around other people because it has that scale. And I feel like there's always those two sides. You're notorious for taking a long time to make a decision, but that's because you are weighing all the options. Libras don't balance the scale. They're trying to balance, but they never really have it perfectly balanced. So don't get that expectation in your mind. It has to be perfectly fair. Very few things in life are perfectly fair. So I would say you're changing relationships. Honestly, everybody is changing to a higher vibration that is going on this path. And the thing is, we are going to be having a lot more new relationships coming in, and we need to make room for them. So move on from there. So now we have Scorpio energy. It's been busy in Scorpio. Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. No kidding. So Pluto, transformation. So basically all of the personal planets have been making a trek through Scorpio and making trines to the outer planets. And oppositions, because Uranus is in an opposition now. with this energy. So definitely transformation, and it can come in very quickly. But how cool. A fresh new way of living emerges. Scorpios are very I keep thinking of holding your cards to your chest, right? Um, I think there's something that my grandma would say. It's like keeping your cards close to your chest when you're playing poker. They used to play poker a lot at at family gatherings, including Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it's my grandmother chiming in. So this transformational energy is really coming out and taking chances, right? Scorpio will take chances. And I think that with all of the energy it's had moving through there, you've had to deal with a lot of emotions. Plus, you have Mercury in a retrograde in your sign, which is really making you, redo paperwork, rethink things, um, look at things in a different perspective, in a different light, having people come back into your life, sometimes as a test. So I think that is an important part of what's been going on for you, to have all of the personal planets, going through your sign, and you still have Venus and Mercury there. So coming soon, welcome to the ascending age. You are, I keep getting the sensation like, yeah, you've been doing all the homework, right? You've been having all the small planets, the inner planets, personal planets there, and you've been required to do your work. And I think that'll make things easier for you. I do like that this golden age coming in. It's coming soon, right? Very, very soon. And I think it's good for you. I think this energy is very good for you. It's been tough. I mean, you can't have Mercury retrograde in your sign and Venus is there and all these secrets coming out. I mean, you're great at finding out secrets, you and Gemini, but you don't like your secrets coming out. So sometimes people have to know some of your secrets in order to understand you better, though. That's what I think. So let's see what the advice is. Come together. Come together, a number 8 card. I think you rehashing, talking to someone is going to allow you to come together. Or, because I really do believe that this is happening with a lot of people. This is an 8. These are 2 8 cards. These are 2 8 cards that have come out. Number 8s. So that's interesting that that's happened. But to me, it's like it's like pulling the weeds, getting the dead weight gone, and the people that you're meant to come together with, you'll come together with. But you're at the right vibrational level. See, they match, right? They're matching. They're vibrationally matched now. And then you can come together. So yes, transform, bring your vibration up higher. And I think that's going to bring some people into your life. So Sagittarius, it's your turn. Sagittarius. Wondrous universe, the wizard, and you see Saturn there. Gorgeous energy. So walk in beauty. Very interesting, because very soon Venus is going to be entering Sagittarius. And I think that will give you the opportunity. I remember last year I had looked at the astrology a couple months beforehand, and I was like, it's no fun for Sagittarius this year. I think you're getting a bit of a break this year, but the new moon that's in Sagittarius is so huge for what's going on with everyone. So I would say not only walk in beauty, but walk in magic. And the nice part about this, I feel, is with Mercury and Venus that are both going to be in Sagittarius, that I feel that especially with Sacred Feminine, there's so much that we're learning and sharing and coming together and not judging each other, because basically Venus in Virgo is very picky. Venus in Scorpio is breaking dishes, and inner feelings. And I think when she comes into Sagittarius, which is Jupiter ruled, there's a much different vibration to that. So I think she's gotten it all. I feel like she's getting it all out of her system, because when she gets into Capricorn, she is going to become an evening star on January 6th. On January 6th. And that will be when she's in her dark night of the soul. So she is really cleaning house, is what I would say. So what comes up next? A light grows brighter only by lighting another. And I think she will be doing that, especially as she goes into her Venus star point that happens. So I feel when she's in Capricorn, anything that goes into Capricorn is there to work. So I feel that there's a lot that she's going to be able to accomplish. I feel like women are going to be out there and getting it done. I definitely feel that. Women, ding, 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 ding. Women are going to be out there and getting it done. Super strong vibration with that. Yeah, sometime in the Sagittarius season, that's going to be a big thing. Let me see what the advice is. Slow and steady. Slow and steady to get things done, right? Believing that you can do it. Believing. So helping each other out. And I think that there's something also, when you walk in beauty, it's like walking into a room with confidence. I don't care if you have rags on and you're at Cinderella's ball. If you walk into a room with confidence, you will have the center of attention in a positive way. It's not like, oh my God, she's got rags on. It's like, oh my gosh, she can carry that off. And Sagittarius is like, they look at things from a higher perspective. It's like, yeah, I don't have my best clothes on, but I'm going to be traveling, or I'm traveling, so I'm packing lightly. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They do things. So slow and steady. That's very interesting energy. But oh my goodness, that I feel such strong feminine energy coming on in Sagittarius. Huge energy. And getting things done, getting it done, making things happen. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. My grandmother was one of those people. She could make things happen. She could like feed 50 people with a couple hours notice. Yep. Just throw things together. Few more potatoes. Everybody would be happy. They had 12 children together. My grandparents did. So interesting energy. So we have Sagittarius, not Sagittarius. I'm sorry. Apologies. I just did Sagittarius. Capricorn coming in. Wow. The solstice. Wow. A lot of things going on. Stepping into power, you are strong beyond measure. That is going to be a time, I feel very true, that we are stepping into power. Venus will be having her star point at 16 degrees of Capricorn on the 6th. So stepping into power. Venus is going to be then coming out of her, her dark night of the soul when she descends, like Persephone descending into Hades. It's very much that kind of a journey. So I want to see what else. Out of the mess comes elegant order. Oh yeah. So with what I'm getting from, this is kind of crazy. What I'm getting from what is happening in December, where women are going to be making a big difference, then out of the mess comes elegant order by the time we get into this Capricorn season. And I think it's going to even carry through to when Aquarius starts, that, all of a sudden it's like, okay, You are strong beyond measure. You're making things happen. It's very feminine. It's just so strong feminine energy. And out of the mess comes elegant order. So I feel like that's the straightening it out the messes. What is the advice for this? I'm just kind of fascinated to know. Oh, goblins. Goblins. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of getting, um, kind of from my grandmother, it was like, when we stand together, no matter what, it's like that feminine energy when it's kind of bound there together, not fighting, just together, that all of these trolls, because another name for goblins to me is trolls, and those can be the people that are out there that are like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, that tell you no, people that tell you no. I don't know why you're listening to them. Those are goblins. And it's funny how sometimes that energy can come up in your life where it's like, recognize that. Recognize those goblins and trolls. They talk about trolls being out there, and someone who just wants to gaslight you. Don't give them that energy. It's just like, I've got better things to do than to listen to that. That's kind of, Capricorn is very much, to think is to do. Let's get this done. Let's finish it. Let's not do it. I will say Capricorn, being an earth sign, is, and a cardinal sign, is one of those signs of the cardinal signs. They actually do get things done and completed. If you want to ever move, you have a Capricorn help you, and have a Virgo do all the packing. So that's that energy. But goblins, yeah, I feel like there's people out there that no matter what, they're going to gaslight, they're going to be a troll. So I think you need to just turn off that energy, and just with the energy of stepping into power. Divine feminine is stepping into power. There's no doubt about it. So let's go on with Aquarius energy. Vast vistas, expand your horizons. Aquarius is about the unusual. This is very much the Fool card. And I do have, I'm a Gemini rising, so Aquarius is actually my 9th house of travel. And they honestly, if you think about this, it's kind of funny because vast vistas, it's like Aquarius is so far ahead of what the curve is of what's going to be happening. They're kind of like, okay, yeah, we knew there were going to be aliens, or we knew that information was going to come out. What took you guys so long? Waiting for us to catch up. And just like all of a sudden they're like, okay, we better slow down so they can catch up. But they are still seeing off into the distance. They kind of still know what's coming up next. They're not, it's usually Aquarius is very genius level things. And they do believe in community, but they also are hermits. So it's like, yeah, individuality, be an individual and do your own thing, but also with a mind to, you have a role in your community that you need to fulfill as well. And then they go back to their cave, right? For some reason, they just have to have, I always feel like they compartmentalize things. It's like, okay, I've done my communication with other people for the day. I'm out of words. I'm out. So interesting energy. Expand your horizons. Find your star family in this cosmic game of hide and seek. Yeah, Aquarius is very much like, and when is my star family getting here? And when is my star family getting here? And when is my star family getting here? So for them, it's so part of who they are energetically that their expectation is, yeah, of course things are going to be different. Of course we're going to be able to communicate with other people that we can't see. I mean, I think Tesla downloaded stuff. I think Einstein downloaded stuff. I think a lot of, Marie Curie downloaded stuff. And it's kind of like things happen out there, the ideas are released, and then it's like, who figures it out first? Who is open enough to be receiving those messages? So it's interesting, this is a number 14 card. So this would be about change, 14. And we're going to see a lot of change. Let's see what the advice is. Strength. And this is a 44 card. It's like this unusual, beautiful balance. And I do want to say that I think care of the earth is going to be an extremely important part of this Aquarius energy moving forward in the next 20 years. Because we do have the Chiron. We do have Chiron that's going to be moving into Taurus as part of this journey. And Chiron, usually it's about 8 or 9 years in a sign, roughly. So I would say that it's going to be us addressing some earth issues, it feels like, as part of the Aquarian age and energy. And I also think this is telling the Aquarians that they need to do some grounding they have all of this great ideas and this genius thoughts, but they do need to still have some kind of grounding practice to stay grounded in their energy. I mean, look at her. She can still be extremely unusual and balancing things in her own way, but she's still able to take care of the earth, right? That a lot of things are possible. So now we have Pisces energy, which is where we have the last degrees of the zodiac. What is going on for you? We have Neptune sitting at 29 degrees the entire time it's in Pisces. It's a co-ruler. And impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. I feel like with Saturn finishing up those last 5 degrees, it's turning direct. It's a big deal. Any of those signs, any of those things turn direct. We do have Neptune will station direct, I believe, on December 10th. And we have on the 28th, we have Saturn stationing direct. So they're going to be holding space, reflect and redirect your energy. And both of them are redirecting their energy. Okay, that's what I just got. Both of them are redirecting their energy. So it feels like you're not going anywhere. And that's an interesting energy to have come up with a Traveler's deck. But let me see what comes up without. Thus one journeys to the stars. There has to be a change. And for Pisces, I think that reflecting and redirecting your energy, a lot of us have learned to be in a more spiritual practice and step away from the victimhood mentality, which is the lower vibration of Pisces. And raising that vibration, I love all these constellations. I'm like, yeah, and where did all of our star family come? Oh, they came from here, and then came from here, and they came from here. So I do feel like just pause for a moment and realize that stopping and redirecting your energy. We do have Mercury that is stationing direct in Scorpio, which is in a trine to this energy. It'll be in a trine. It's going all the way back to 20, but then it's going to come back and reignite that grand water trine energy. And that will include Saturn and Neptune. So I think just wait. Just you have this energy probably through the 10th where you feel like, I feel really stuck. But Mercury stations direct, I believe, on the 29th of November, and then starts moving forward. And I think that's going to get ideas moving for you, because then it's going to be trining Saturn for the long term and making your dreams come true. Spark. Number 34 card, Spark. There are going to be some amazing downloads that come in. And I think that is energy that you need to be aware of, that you need to open up even when you're being forced to have this impasse with everything stopping, when you have Saturn stationing and you have Neptune stationing within a few days of each other, and you feel like all of a sudden things just stop moving, and they're big things, and you're like, but I got to get this going. I got to get this going. You will eventually, but I think that there's going to be like this spark energy coming through. You'll know when you get that synchronicity of, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. Now I know what's happening here. You have things in the last degrees of the zodiac, and they're in trine energy with Jupiter and Venus and Mercury. You are going to have great opportunities for things to start working out for you more and more, especially with Venus, with Mercury going direct, and Venus is going to be in a trine to Neptune when she is in an opposition to Uranus. So unexpected things if you have anything in the late degrees of Pisces. So that is your energy. Definitely the spark will be there when Venus is just before that opposition happens, I think. Because usually Uranus is very much a very tight orb, because it's like now. And it will generally happen beforehand, but I do see a lot of energy coming forward with those big changes. So I do see things in Sagittarius season happening, but it'll feel at first like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere. That's because those big planets are stationing in your sign, and it feels like nothing is happening. Give it a couple weeks. It'll change a lot, and you'll feel much, much better. So thank you for watching. I think there was a lot of great messages that came through. Thank you for my grandmother who helped out a little bit. I will see everyone soon. I'll try and send messages while I'm out traveling. I love everyone. I will talk to you soon. Bye.